While growing up, I've often heard that the people that are close to you and the people that you associate yourself with the most, they are the most dangerous and deadly to be around. Hi again and welcome. This is Links WSM TV. Let's talk. We have a situation to talk about as it relates to a Jamaican man that lost his life in the United States. Not by accident, but a fact that it was a setup in order to gain a lucrative sum of money from an insurance scheme that was set above his head. His wife now has been charged with first degree murder and suspicion of shooting the husband in a parking lot. Hi again, we will be bringing you up to date with this story when we return after this break. This is Links WSM TV. Let's talk and we'll be right back. Welcome back and thanks for joining us for the program. This is Links WSM TV. Let's talk. I've seen this situation and I was wondering if anything could go the way it did. After I've seen a number of reports about this, I could not get the time to really put this story out there because I'm a bit busy during the week. However, I sought to clarify the whole entire situation and I want to really just put this story out there and just appeal to people. You have to be extremely careful even when you are with people for a long period of time, especially in relationships. You still have to just keep an eye behind your head. This female and this male was said to be married for over 12 years and they were involved in a business together and they had a loving life, as the videos and pictures that I've seen of them so far just goes to show you that they might have been happy for a period of time, but something went haywire somewhere along the line after the wife decided to hire a hitman in order to get rid of the husband in order to gain money from a lucrative insurance scheme that she had set up on his head. So the wife now is charged with first degree murder and suspicion of shooting the husband in a parking lot. But let me just bring you up to date with what we want to talk about on the story and what really transpired leading up to this unfortunate situation. So it is believed that the male was in a parking lot some time ago conversing with some friends when he was called out by another individual from another side of a chain link fence. The individual then went to that fence and he was shot by the individual who called him by his name. That individual fled the scene. Soon after, the man was there on the ground and then the wife came out and another shot was heard. Now, people had believed that it was the same person that fired the first shot fired the second one. However, it is now being revealed that it was the wife that fired the second shot, hitting the individual in his face, and that would be her husband. So, let me bring you up to scratch with the situation if I've lost you. So, the wife hired a hitman in order to kill the husband, basically. And the hitman carried out his attack. However, it was not successful as the husband was still alive. It seemed as if at somewhere during that point, the hitman gained access to the female and stated to her that, listen, I did the job, but it seemed like he's still out there alive. You're going to have to go and finish it. All right? So what the wife did was to remove a firearm that she had in the business establishment that she shared with her husband. And this was where she went outside. And this was witnessed by other people that was standing in the parking lot. And she fired a shot, hitting the gentleman in his face. And he succumbed to that injury right there and then. So the police launched an investigation into the matter, and she was arrested, and she has now been charged with first-degree murder and suspicion of shooting her husband in a parking lot. So we are going to bring you the police report right now and what the police are saying really transpired in this unfortunate situation. So the two people in question right now, one goes by the name, and this is the female, Tamika Hilton, and the male, who is said to be 34 years old, Hamencho Hilton. So they were married, and they were married for over 12 years, I'm informed. So the police have arrested Tamika Hilton on suspicion of fatally shooting her husband in a smoke shop parking lot near 35th Avenue on this fateful day. So when the police arrived at the scene, they found the victim, who was identified as the business owner of the shop, dead in the parking lot with what appears to be a gunshot wound to the head, according to an initial report. So this is where now the story is about to take this dramatic twist, and a police report have stated the whole entire situation and how it unfolded. So police spoke to witnesses on the scene who said that a male suspect in a dark hooded sweatshirt called out to the victim by his nickname and shot him from the adjacent parking lot that's separated by a chain link fence, according to court documents filed. The witnesses reported that the suspect fled the scene and that the victim had gunshot wounds to the side but was still standing, and that more gunshots were heard fired, including the one that hit him to the head. During the initial interview, Hilton told police, and this would have been the wife now, told police that she was inside the smoke shop when she heard the gunshots, and she found her husband injured in the parking lot. According now to court documents filed, police found blood inside the smoke shop, on the door, on the counters, and even on a gun that was located inside the shop. And they found an empty holster, and also Tamika's purse was also found with blood stains. A witness told police that the victim recently told him that he obtained a life insurance policy. Police found 10 minutes before the shooting that Tamika Hilton texts a man who recently arrived from New York. "He's here outside. You think I can pull it off?" And the man replied, "You got to get this money so you can move." So she was in a text conversation with the alleged hitman. So the police were able to obtain this text message from her phone. Lastly now, the police interviewed and revealed that a witness statement said that Hilton, and this is now the female, was standing in close proximity to the injured husband when the second shot was fired to the head. Hilton was booked into jail on one count of first-degree murder, and she has had her preliminary hearing on the 2nd of November. So, what transpired now in this unfortunate story was that this female, who is said to be Tamika Hilton, ordered a hitman in order to get rid of her husband, basically, after a life insurance policy was taken out on his head. It is said that text messages were sent between the hitman and the wife prior to the shooting. And even on the day in question, text messages were being exchanged between the two. And at the moment the actual shooting took place, text messages were being sent to and from Tamika and the hitman. This was what the police report outlined. So the police now have this as strong evidence against her. And the fact that the text message read that you have to get this money, state that she wanted the insurance money from her husband. Might I remind you that these two individuals that you're seeing in these photographs, they were married for actually 12 years. There were a set of individuals, I'm told, that they would normally be seen out there in the public space from time to time. And they would normally be seen at parties. And both of them seem very happy together. I've watched a number of video clips posted online, and I've also seen a number of comments that describe the male himself, Mr. Hilton, as being a loving, caring, and humble individual. The female, by looking at her pictures and based on her persona, it's very hard for me to would have drawn to the conclusion that this female would have been so vicious and cruel, especially towards her husband, just because of money. But it just goes to show you the world that we're living in and how this situation can cause the demise and how the love of money can let people think in such a way that your life don't value anymore. Money is more than your life. Now what transpired now was that the female hired this hitman to get rid of the husband. The hitman executed the duty. However, he was shot once in the side and he was still alive. So what the wife did now was to remove the gun that was inside the shop. And remember, the shop belonged to the husband and herself. So she removed the gun from the shop and went over to her husband as if she was about to assist him to the hospital, and she pulled the gun and shot him in his face right then and there in the parking lot. So she did this in an attempt for the witnesses that were around to have thought that it was the hitman that had fired another shot from the adjacent chain link fence and hit her husband once more. However, the police have stated that they found a weapon inside the shop, and they can say that that was the gun itself that gave him that fatal blow to the head. Now the wife has been charged and booked with first-degree murder. This male is said to be a Jamaican, and I can tell you right now, this has left the whole entire country in shock based on the development that came out of this story. And I can tell you, it's just one of those unfortunate situations that I have to report and just bring you up to date with what is going on. But it's a very sad situation. And when we look on these pictures of them, it's very hard that one could even tell that something such as this could have happened to this male, because they were together for 12 years, I'm told, and somewhere along the line, the wife decided that she wanted to be out of this relationship and she not going out of it without not getting some big money from the husband head. And she took out a life insurance, and then she decided that she's going to carry out a hitman in order to get rid of him. And this was the end. She did carry out the action and she did execute her plan. However, she was caught in the process. I'm just appealing to people out there, you have to be extremely careful, especially when it comes on to these insurance schemes that are being set up over your head. And what I've come to realize is that these insurance schemes are being set up without even the actual people that are being placed on these insurance scheme knowing about the whole entire situation. I believe that there need to be some regulatory bodies set up in order to monitor these insurance companies and monitor the way in which they put people on insurance, because it has come to my attention that someone can place an insurance on your head without you even knowing that an insurance is placed on your head. And then they can either get rid of you or get someone to get rid of you and be profited from that gain. So we have to be extremely careful of this situation. This situation though is so sad and unfortunate, and I can tell you, I feel very sad to report on this, and based on the fact that how it transpired, and it was to a young individual, just 34 years old. had a bright future ahead of him, and his life cut short because of this evil and cruel female that he once called his wife. I believe I'm going to leave this one here for now. Thanks for watching. This has been Links 007 TV. Let's talk. Drop it in the comment section how you feel about this story and let me know. I look forward for your responses. Thanks for watching. This has been Links 007 TV. Let's talk. And I'm out for another exclusive one. Peace out. Have a blessed weekend.